Good morning YouTube! Today I'm reviewing Holly Smell's Geek Girl. So this is going to be completely spoiler free, so feel free to watch this even if you haven't read the book yet. I just got back from the Brighton signing event, so I did manage to get my copy signed, which was pretty awesome. She was really lovely. Although I did still have all my tabs in there from not having filmed this video yet, so that was kind of awkward. But yes. So I really enjoyed this book. It focuses on Harriet, who is a 15-year-old girl at school. She's having a pretty rough go of it. She's bullied, and then she is thrust into this whole modelling world. So she is going to Birmingham Fashion Week with her school and her best friend, whose one goal is to be a model in life. So her best friend Nat, that's all she wants. She wants to be a model. So Harriet has to go along for sort of moral support, and things are completely thrown askew, and this book is just so fast-paced. It's so much fun. It's really one of those books where you just breeze through it. Literally the entire book, it's about 400-ish pages long, and I read it in 2 hours. It has really short chapters as well, which I really enjoyed, because I feel like so many books nowadays have really long chapters, and the fact that they were so short in this book made me kind of speed through it a lot more than I have done in other books. Also, it was just the funniest thing. Literally, there were so many moments in this book where I just was sat in my room laughing hysterically. Like, Holly has this incredible blend of like slapstick humour and just regular humour and jokes and just, I don't know, Harriet is just like the funniest person. I loved it. So Holly writes all these incredible facts throughout the novel, which I found really interesting. It's like you're learning as you're reading, and they're the most obscure things because all of them are real. For example, in the opening couple of pages, she states that in the old days the word geek was used to describe a carnival performer who bit the head off a live chicken or snake or bat as part of their stage act. What? I never would have expected that that is originally what geek meant, but apparently it is, and that is just like the wackiest thing. So you get sort of bombarded with a whole host of really random pointless facts that are actually really interesting in my opinion throughout this novel, so I'm looking forward to getting to the second book and finding out a whole host more random facts. So I really enjoyed the way that Holly wrote this in a sort of direct address. It's like Harriet is actually talking to you, the reader, which makes me like get really engrossed in the book, so it feels like she's your friend rather than just this character that you're reading about, so I really loved that aspect of this. Also, Wilbur. Wilbur is the best character, literally. Harriet's agent, Wilbur, is like the most flamboyant, extravagant man ever, and he is just brilliant. He has this incredible knack for calling a Harriet a completely different name every time he talks to her, and they're always ludicrous, so you can look forward to a whole host of really random names as you read through this. There is also a character called Toby in this book who I really loved. He's like Harriet's stalker, but he's like a little kid, and it's completely innocent in the way he's stalking her because he just kind of wants a friend. He's just lonely and he wants a friend, but looking at it abstractly, it's very creepy the way that he manages to stalk her so brilliantly. So in the Q&A discussion today, Holly was actually saying that he was very loosely based off of Edward from Twilight, which I thought was hilarious because basically Toby is, if you take Edward with all of his stalkerish habits and his telling her what to do and all of that, but take away his 100-year-old vampireness trapped in a 17-year-old's body, take away his like attractive good looks, and you are left with Toby, this creepy little kid who just follows Harriet around wherever she goes and just pops up in the most unlikely of places. So I really loved this character. There were moments where I was just sat there like, Toby, what are you doing? You're so odd. But it just completely adds to the overall feel of the book and adds to the humour because it is innocent in the way he's doing this. He doesn't mean any wrong by it. He just wants a friend, which is just, your heart goes out to him, literally. So I really loved the way that Harriet kind of evolves throughout the novel as well. There's so much character development, and because she's talking, because the way it's written, she's talking to you, you kind of see her go through all these realizations and realize where she's sort of thought one thing and it's been another, and it's really interesting watching her metamorphosize. I think that's the right word. I think it's a real word. You watch her metamorphosize from this kind of ugly duckling into the princess, because I mean she keeps her sense of self throughout the novel, but she sort of just gains more confidence, I think, and comfortable, and she just ends up a little more comfortable in herself, which is really nice to read about. But yes, I also received this giant poster today at the event for her new book, which is Head Over Heels. It's like the 5th in the series, so I've got some catching up to do, but I don't know where I'm going to put this. I have no idea, but I love it. It's brilliant. It's so bright. That's one thing that I really love about these books. I've only got a few of them, but they're all such bright primary colours or just block colours, and they really stand out, so I really enjoy the covers, because so many of my books, I swear, are just black. Like, if you look behind me, there is so little colour, and I don't do that on purpose. So yeah, Harriet is just so relatable. I really love her. Like, for instance, in the opening, you see her, like, within the first few pages, she decides that she doesn't want to go to school, so you see her lying in bed ill, telling her friend she can't go because she's ill, telling her parents she can't go because she's ill, all of that, and it actually turns out that she just is completely and utterly faking it, and it's sort of that kind of thing where if you've been through school, you can kind of recognise that in yourself. Like, have you ever had one of those days where you just sat at home and you didn't want to go to school, not even slightly, just trying to get out of school? So Harriet is so relatable, even though she is thrown into this crazy whirlwind of modelling that, let's face it, 99.99999% of people aren't going to go through that. But she is just such a relatable character. She is so ditzy even though she's smart. She's so clumsy, which I completely relate with, because I'm standing there and I just fall, I swear. I don't know how, but it happens. So yeah, it's such a relatable book. It was just so fast paced and such a quick and easy read. Like, I would completely recommend this to anyone who liked the Louise Renaissance series or Princess Diaries. It definitely has that Princess Diaries feel, because you've got the... There goes my light. Oh well, I'm gonna keep powering through, because you've got the whole girl who is taken and given a makeover to try and be this princess, which is kind of like what's going on within Geek Girl, although it's to be a model rather than a princess. So yeah, if you ever enjoyed reading Princess Diaries or the Louise Renaissance series when you were little, you'd probably quite enjoy this now. It's such a fun book. It's just, I don't know, like I said, I don't read too much contemporary, but this was so fun that I'm definitely gonna try and get my way through the rest of the series soon, because I'm really enjoying it. And the next book actually takes place in Japan, and I completely love Japan and all of the Japanese culture and all the Japanese things, so I'm really excited to read that book. I've actually got it on my shelf behind me, so I might start it today if I'm lucky. But yeah, I love all the characters in this. It's also nice how her parents are so prevalent within the novel. I mean, you've got her stepmother and her actual father, and I feel like in a lot of YA books, be it contemporary, I mean, I don't read too much contemporary, but at least within like all the dystopian and fairy tale retellings, like all these other genres within YA, I feel like the parents aren't really represented quite as much, whereas in this novel they are very heavily set in the forefront of the book, and it works so well. Like, I just absolutely love her dad, for instance. I want him in my life. That would be like the perfect dad to grow up with. He just sounds so funny, he's so wacky, he's such a maverick, and I just love it. So yeah, I would totally recommend picking it up if you fancy something really easy and really fun. You will be sat there laughing out loud, I can guarantee you this, and you will learn loads of random useless trivia. Like, if you ever had a quiz that you had to go to, no doubt this would help, because it just has so much random stuff that I would imagine popping up in like the general knowledge section of like a school quiz or like a pub quiz. So it's so much fun. So I really enjoyed it, and I totally recommend you check it out. So I will see you next time. Bye!